Hey, good morning and welcome to Southwest Flavor. Happy Tuesday to all of you. We have today one of our guests, Steve Rivera.
Good to be with you.
Yeah, good morning, Steve. How you doing?
It's morning, so you know how I'm doing.
Yeah, you're not a morning guy, but I really appreciate you coming in.
No, thanks for having me, and it's a big week for Tucson and El Tour.
Yeah. So we're talking today about El Tour de Tucson, and I believe that we have Damion Alexander on the phone also. We're just technically trying to get him on there so he can join us. But tell us a little bit about your involvement with El Tour de Tucson, Steve.
Well, I've been with the organization since 2013, maybe 12, 13. So I've been there a while now. It's a fun organization, good cause organization. Have raised a lot of money over the years, over the 41 years. This will be 41. So up until now, it's about 121 million total for nonprofits locally and nationally. And we're kind of like the middleman between the nonprofits and the organization. So we put on this event, which gets about 9,500 this year likely, to ride, and people donate to their nonprofits, and ride for their nonprofits, or do a lot of things for their nonprofits. And in that year, they raise about $6 to $8 million, maybe sometimes $10 million.
Wow!
And that goes to their individual nonprofits, and we're just like the vehicle that gets them there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's huge for Tucson. I mean,
Ron, real quick, I just want to let you know we have Damion on the line now, and he's on now.
hey, good morning, Damion. How you doing?
Happy Tuesday!
Happy Tuesday.
So you can tell he's a morning person.
Yeah, he is a morning person. He's probably already been on his bike today. Have you?
What are you talking about? I just haven't gone to bed yet.
Damion, you're so involved with the cycling community here in Tucson. Tell us a little bit about your involvement with El Tour de Tucson.
Well, as Steve said, primarily and first it was about the charities. Tunadito used to be our primary beneficiary, and that's what got me involved, was raising funds for them. And over the years, I've become more and more engaged with the various charities. At one point, I actually managed that capacity, or that part of El Tour in our transition year. And it's just such an exceptional experience to be able to learn about what all these amazing charities are doing to make Tucson, Southern Arizona, and even nationally, and internationally, like Rotary to end polio. It's a great way to team up the passion for cycling and the passion for doing good for the community.
And you're a passionate cyclist as well. I mean, you're on your bike almost every day, right?
Haven't missed a day yet this year.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. And tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit about Tucson's Loop. I mean, that's something that I think brings people from all over the world to Tucson to cycle especially during the winter.
Yeah, the Loop is definitely a reason that people are coming to Tucson, moving to Tucson, having a path where you can get almost anywhere without having to deal with traffic. There's now close to 150 miles. And this last year, we patched it through up into Marana. So it's I think a 31-mile stretch along the Santa Cruz.
Yeah, it goes up to Gladden Farms up there.
Gladden Farms. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. And I use it, personally for commuting. And I sell real estate on my bike, and that's how I get around town and stay off the roads. And I think a large percentage of Tucson is only 3 miles away or less from the Loop. It's an amazing asset that we have here.
Did you have something, Steve?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm letting Damon take the stage. He knows that Loop. He's been on it more than 1,000 times probably.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. And the nice thing is Steve could talk a little bit about Loop the Loop, which is one of our events.
Right, yeah, no question. It's a big event. It happens every September. It comes in 2 months before the actual El Tour. So it was 2 months ago this week. We had a number of nonprofits. I want to say more than 30. We have 85 this year total. So we have a portion of the people or the nonprofits at the Loop de Loop, getting the word out. Trying to get riders to ride for them. So that was very successful. Bands, it's fun. I think I saw you there, Ron. Right?
Yep. Yeah, it's a big party.
You talk about Damon being part of the community of doing it, and he obviously is. I do it in my way here with El Tour, and you're out there too. I see your Facebook page. You're out doing stuff, and then I think you're part of a growing crowd of cyclists because of COVID. They couldn't do anything indoors, or you had to be indoors, or if you wanted to be outdoors, you had a bike. If you had a bike, you're out doing stuff because it wasn't affecting you, and that kind of grew the sport a little.
Yeah, I believe so. What do you think, Damion?
There's no question that COVID had a really profound impact on cycling. That and golf, anything where we can still be outdoors, enjoying nature. I'm sitting outside right now. I think you're both in the studio, but it's incredible with November, and I'm in shorts and a t-shirt sitting on my patio. And Tucson definitely draws a lot of people here because of the weather, and the winter weather's just perfect for biking. You add in the infrastructure, and there's something for everyone. We talked about the Loop, but I mean that would be just one of the must-do rides in southern Arizona. Mount Lemmon, it ranks all the time in one of the top bucket list rides in the U.S. You have Saguaro East, and that's just the road riding is good, but the mountain biking is just exceptional. Every mountain range has its own trails, and the gravel scene and what Xander Alt has done down in Patagonia is just incredible as well. So I mean, no matter what flavor you like when it comes to bikes, there's something. And as I started the call by saying Happy Tuesday, that's kind of a local commentary towards a Tuesday night ride, which is a slow roll, anything goes. I don't know that I would recommend it to anybody who's it's an interesting one. You never know what you're going to see. There's BMX, there's been motorcycles. It used to be a nice little family-ish ride, but it's got a mind of its own. So there's a little bit of everything. Wednesday nights are bike polo. I mean, you name it. Southern Arizona has it when it comes to two wheels.
Part of the charm, guys, and Damien knows this, and you do too, Ron, is that can you beat the weather? I mean, this time of year,
no,
it's fantastic. If there's not a rain, unexpected rain or whatever, like this weekend, we were expecting 82 degrees on Saturday. Nice day, ideal conditions to ride, and that's 82s in the afternoon. I think it's going to start off like at 51 degrees when you guys get off. At 7 in the morning, and by 10 o'clock it's 72 ideal coming in, noon or whatever time you're coming in, and then there's a party. But come on, today, like Damien said, what a fantastic day to be outside, and all week, especially on Saturday.
Yeah, every year that I pick up my packet, the day before the El Tour ride, there's people from all over the United States.
Right.
Yeah.
And Damien knows this because I know I've done a story or two for Biz Tucson about this, is people come to ride and then they say, wow, look at this place in November. I got to get out of here and maybe get a second home or something. Yeah. I'm in Iowa, stuck in snow. Why not? Why not come out here for a few months?
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I was in line with.
Did you mention homes?
I shouldn't have brought that up.
We know someone that could sell them a home.
You said the magic word, home. Boy, I know a realtor who will actually take you around on bicycles and show you. You can call me and I'll tell you all about it.
Excuse me. I'm sorry I brought that up.
The weather, the weather, we are actually 55 is what it's saying right now is going to be the start time. And I mean, just to be able to show up and maybe have arm warmers and your kid on for a ride, it's just going to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, 55 is perfect for the start of a ride. Mm-hmm. It is.
Okay.
Definitely. So, Damien, tell us a little bit about your real estate business.
So I've been doing this for nearly 30 years, and after the meltdown in 2007, I said, I am going to do something very different because I didn't like the way that I saw how the world was going. And so I got on my bike and started riding and was like, I'm going to work with people who want to ride bikes and who appreciate the community. So
Excellent.
I pretty much work only by referrals, and more and more of my clients do want to go out on bikes, and it's I think the best way to explore a community. Once you well, first, if you are a cyclist, being able to know the best routes to get home, because there are some neighborhoods where you just are not going to be able to get in and out safely without a car.
Right.
And for me, that would be a complete non-starter if I was looking for a house. And a lot of the people who are moving down, like the ones who are interested in the loop, that's the same thing. Getting a lot of people who are moving here, as Steve said, just because of the loop. I mean, to have a safe space where they can go outside their door and get right on, and it's phenomenal because the loop goes along the Julian Wash on the south side of Tucson, all the way through Fantasy Island up the east side. I mean, no matter what your price point or what part of town you like, there's just so much accessibility to cycling. It's amazing. I also write for a couple of different papers, and there was a series I did on why each part of Tucson was the best for cycling. And then each article is just more and more exciting because the answer is they all are so great.
Right. And what are you doing?
What's your favorite? What's your favorite? You're up in the Northwest. What's your favorite route?
Well, I usually get on right next to Sportsman's Warehouse on Costco Drive off of Thornydale. And usually I just go up to Rancho Vistoso. So I like to do the elevation going up and then, of course, going downhill back to my truck. So, but we do various routes. I mean, we'll go down the Santa Cruz, or we'll do the full loop, or go up into Marana and go up to Gladden Farms. But I think usually my go-to route is...
That new section.
Mm-hmm. That new
I was gonna say
section's
that new
nice.
section up to Gladden Farms, it's so pretty. Plus, you're going by the lakes up there and the wildlife, and it's the other thing about the loop. I don't know if you find this, but it's a departure from Tucson while you're out there sometimes.
Yeah.
You're following along the Santa Cruz and where the recharged water is. It's an active river that's running year round, and it's so verdant. And on one side, you've got just amazing water features, and on the other side, you're going by petroglyphs and the red rocks
Right.
at the top of the Tucson Mountains.
Yeah, I love that because that's something you don't usually see in Tucson. And to go by that water, you get to see ducks in the water. We've had geese for the past few weeks in that water right there on Ina and the Santa Cruz. So it's pretty neat to see.
That is so cool. Have you had an opportunity yet to go down on Houghton as far as they've extended that?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so I'm not sure I think it's Pantano High School, which is south on Houghton of I-10. It goes down, I think, another 5 or 6 miles now.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh, wow.
that's going to be parallel with the El Tour route, which will be interesting because I think some people probably will jump off the road and ride on the loop because they're right next to each other for that stretch. And and hopefully the county will extend it all the way down to Corona del Tucson, because Sarita Road is just a dream to ride a bike on.
Okay.
So nice 6-foot bike lane, and that takes you all the way down to Green Valley. Another thing, I actually took Wilmot down. They just punched that through as well, so it's another new southwest access down to Sarita Road this last week. And once you get down there for El Tour, there are going to be some really nice colors. The pecan trees all in that area on that stretch as you head south are popping pretty nice.
I love it. I just love being on the loop, and I love how they've extended it. I mean, this is our tax dollars at work, and you see so many people on the loop, not just cyclists, but you see bike riders, or not bike. You see people pushing their strollers. You see joggers. You see people on rollerblades, walking their dogs. I mean, everything. And that's just it. It's great to see everyone outside, doing some activities.
Yeah, truly. I see a stump, so I'm going to jump up on it really quickly. This is one of my main speeches doing advocacy. If you are out on the loop, there's a thing called a bell. They're amazing. I personally like the spur bell. These are shared use paths.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is best for all of us if we're courteous and understanding. There are a lot of people out there with headsets on, and there are a lot of people who aren't being nice. And we can't really control them, but we can share the message, and we can make sure that we're being courteous. I see people all the time where you have that, family with the stroller walking, and there's a bike in front of you, and the bike comes and just zips in and out of them. And I know as I ride, that bike was completely safe. That bike was in they had the room. But if you're that walker,
Yeah.
and you have your child or your dog, and somebody comes at you, and even if they're dropping back in 15, 20 feet before you, it's really intimidating. So use some common sense, kind of put yourself, you have a little empathy towards other users, and think about how would I feel if I was there. If you've never walked on the loop, but you're just a cyclist, go out someday on the Rita, like on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning, and go for a walk for a couple miles, and you'll get a really good understanding of some things that we probably shouldn't do.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm off my stump.
Yeah. There's certainly some areas that get really crowded, especially on, like you said, Saturdays and Sundays. So it's good to be courteous and be safe for everyone.
Yeah. And if you're like me, starting training this week for El Tour, there's areas like the Santa Cruz, you're not going to see a walker for miles.
Yeah.
If you want to go out and hammer it, if you're on your tri bike, people complain about a lot of like e-bikes and things, which are not allowed still, although they're everywhere.
Right.
But if you're going to be out on the loop, it just be courteous. I mean, and if you're going to crush it, go out to the Santa Cruz or go down to the Julian Wash. There's miles and miles where you're not going to see any walkers, and sit up and enjoy the people when you're on the Rito when it's busy.
Right. So, Damion, tell us what you're doing for El Tour this year on Saturday.
So this year I am riding for a few charities. The number one is Ben's Bells. I'm doing a beta test for a new type of ride where I'm going to be a chaser. So I'm accepting pledges per rider that I pass.
Oh, wow.
And it's kind of a cool new system I found, and hopefully this works out and other people can do that. I've done pledged rides before, and then I have to chase after the money after the ride, and it's a month of trying to get people to pay afterwards, and I'm never going to do that again.
I don't blame you.
Say how much. Yeah, oh God, that was a good year. But I've raised I think $50,000 or $60,000 over the years. So, it's such a great platform to be able to raise money for local charities. And then I'll be riding for Easter Seals and more for their foster program in Arizona with our state income taxes. We can direct where we want our state income taxes to go dollar for dollar through qualified foster organizations and
Right.
qualified charitable organizations. Unfortunately, only about 8% of the population are doing so, but this is like a no-brainer. I mean, this is money that you're going to spend. If you don't like paying taxes and you really want to take care of your community and you have a passion, find one of the qualified charitable or foster organizations. And of the 80 charities that we have, I think something like 35 or 40 this year fall under that category.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, what a cool way that, if you're going to register, why not register and do some good for a charity locally and help them raise some funds while you're having fun riding your bike.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much, Damion, for coming on. We really appreciate it. We're going to go to a break here. It was great talking to you.
Thanks for the time. Good to talk. Bye,
All
Steve.
right. All right. We will be back in just a couple minutes at Southwest Flavor.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair. My drains were clogged. I was really in despair. So I called some guy. You've never seen such a mess. And every time he leaned over, well, you can probably guess. Now I get it done right by Picture Rocks Cooling. They're neat and clean, peachy clean. Really no fooling. Got a problem? Just call up and help is coming. Picture Rocks Cooling, heating and plumbing.
Hi, I'm Alan Murdoch. For the past 20 years, I've been buying, fixing, and selling properties right here in southern Arizona. And I want to buy your property. Whether it's a house, apartment, commercial building, or vacant land, regardless of the condition or the situation, I want to talk to you. When you sell to me, I pay cash and it's hassle-free. No repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. If you have a property you don't want to deal with and you want a quick solution, call, text, or visit selltalon.com. Again, that's selltalon.com.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash. When you call in anonymously with the tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward. Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net.
We can print anything on our soft vanilla logo cookies. We deliver them and other sweet treats locally. We are located at 4249 West Ina Road, Suite 121. Call us 520-300-1131. We bake smiles.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net.
Welcome back to Southwest Flavor. We're streaming out of the Live the Dream Media studio. And if you haven't downloaded the Live the Dream Media app on your Google or your Apple, go ahead and do that. It's a free app. There's all kinds of content in there. There is music. There's other podcasts. And it's completely free. So go ahead and download the Live the Dream Media. All right, Steve.
And by the way, they have a nice place here.
Well, thank you.
They
Thank
have
you.
a nice place.
I mean, I
here.
have nothing to do with it. But
No, but I'm impressed. You know, LTD media company. What? Who would have thought? And it's very nice.
Yeah.
Very comfortable.
Yeah. Up here on the northwest side, which is convenient for you and I because we're up here on the northwest side.
Yes, I didn't have to go too far.
Yeah. Yeah. On an early morning.
Yes. I shaved my legs for this.
I see. So, Steve, you've been writing about sports for a long time. Tell us a little bit about your media career.
In 37 years, I just started my 38th year, actually.
Oh, wow.
In August, I got here in 87. Kind of lucky, living the dream, my dream, you know,
Right.
such that it is. You know, people dream other ways. I dreamt this way and writing about sports.
Yeah.
I got here in 87, started covering the UA football team my first year, or my second year, actually, with Dick Tomey for 3 years. And
Right.
then
With
I
the
went-
Tucson Citizen, right?
Tucson Citizen, right? The afternoon paper for those fresh to Tucson. Did the basketball beat, men's basketball beat for 17 years. After that, maybe 18 years, all with Lute. And the best thing that happened to me was I got to cover a good team. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think I ever covered a losing program while I was here.
That's
so I was
right.
very spoiled.
Yeah.
And when they won the title in 97, it allowed me to write my first book. And then now, 5 more books later, I've written my 6th. So just busy. And now that the paper closed 15 years ago or so.
Has it been that long?
It's 15 years ago, yeah.
Wow.
Almost my entire career there. Kind of you have to reinvent yourself. You know,
Yeah.
people do podcasts. I got lucky. I worked as a PR guy after the paper closed, wrote another book, and then landed at El Tour. You know, Richard D. Bernardis. We talked, and he needed an editor for his Tailwinds publication, and hired me. It's been great there. I've loved it. Found some great stories.
Yeah.
New cyclists are fantastic stories. Raising money, overcoming obstacles,
Right.
those feel-good stories, you know.
Yeah.
Love doing those. And then I have my radio show now, which has been very successful for almost 7 years now. So
It's been 7 years?
It's 7 years.
Wow.
4 years at Fox, and then I had it at where you're at.
At Bustos.
At Bustos. So a lot of fun, and you know how it is, and you're doing this. It's not work.
Right.
You know, it's not work. You go and you
We're
have
the
fun.
luckiest guys out there.
That's exactly it. Exactly it. And my dream did come true. You know, and you just kind of have to kind of search that dream.
Yeah.
I'm kind of being dramatic or whatever, but it's true.
Yeah.
But it's true for me because, come on, I'm an old dude now, and I get to wax poetic about stuff.
Right?
Whether I wax poetic or not, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. And tell us about your radio show. You have a
Yeah.
weekly, or
Yeah,
not
no,
weekly, but
daily.
a weekday show.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
a daily show, 3 to 5 every weekday on Fox Sports, 1450. Eye on the Ball. Had it there. 4 years ago. Jay Gonzalez and I brought him on 4 years ago, and we moved it to Fox from Bustos. It's been fantastic. He was the perfect foil for me, or
Yeah.
you know, the good guy, bad guy. I'm the sensible one, I'd like to think, and he's the unsensible one. And he left the show not because of us, but because, you know, the real world calls.
Yeah.
He's a family guy, so he needed to make some more money, and then decided to do that. that. We still have a show once a month together from the Casino del Sol.
Okay, you just did that.
Yeah, we
this
just
week
did
or
it
last week, I think. Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun, a lot of back and forth, a lot of BS going, back and forth. And now I just kind of have guest hosts coming in and shooting it with me and talk sports.
You guys get some great interviews in there too.
We get because we've been here a long time. We get some good people who've come on the scene and like to BS with us. It's a lot of fun. I mean, Ron, you know this. You do this now.
Right.
If it's not fun, why in the hell do it?
Yeah, exactly.
And you're at the age I am. So I'm that cranky old dude. I like to refer myself to one of those dudes on the balcony of the Muppets. Cranky guy, and just talk a lot of crap on the radio.
Yeah. But we get to go watch sports and we get to talk about it afterwards.
Yes, and that's why I got into business. I just did an interview with some students at U of A, and they asked, so how do you start? I says, well, I was about 8 years old when I wanted to be two things I wanted to be.
Oh, wow.
A pro baseball player or a sports writer. I couldn't hit the curveball, wasn't strong enough to hit the baseball, so I played a little and just became a sports writer. And it's not, you just don't wake up and do it.
No, it's a skill. It's a skill set.
You have to learn it, and you want to be good at it. So you have to practice a lot.
Yeah.
You have to read a lot.
Yeah.
You have to observe a lot. There's a lot of things that you have to do a lot. Use that phrase, but
it's like any other skill.
Yes, you're exactly right. Now you're good at what you do because you've done it a lot of times.
Yeah,
I'm sure at the beginning it was like,
right, sure.
And now we were talking off the air. I have to learn the board at the radio show because I've lost a guy.
Yeah, that's a whole nother skill set.
It's a whole. I'm reinventing myself again. And it's like, I'm old. I'm not 12 when I can program my VCR.
Right.
So.
Right, we were talking about phones earlier.
Yeah,
and I said you're gonna have to ask your son. That's what I do when I have a problem with my phone. I just ask one of my sons.
Yeah. Then I don't want to see the raised eyes and the not.
But they'll fix it in 30 seconds.
Yeah. That's all it was. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then I still don't know what they did. Yeah.
So what do you think about this week's basketball team, or this year's basketball team?
Let's talk. I really like them a lot. I think the pieces fit very well. Disregard last week's game because there's going to be a few of those last week's games.
Sure.
You don't go and every day can't be a sunny sky and 82 degrees on a sunny bike day, right? But I do think all the pieces fit. They'll do very well. Very well is relative to the Big 12. They're picked to finish 4th or 5th, and that's fine. You can't win it all. Right. But the better the chance in March than you'd had in the past because you didn't face those tough teams.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They have stiffer competition.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And this is my philosophy, and has been it for a long time. The better teams you play, the better you get.
Right.
Because if you beat up on Canisius 40 times, what the hell does that do? It doesn't do. You can beat Canisius 40 times. So this week, and I said this last week before they played Wisconsin, that they were going to knock off Duke on Friday night.
I sure hope so.
One, it's home.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great crowd. Arizona's good. They just had a bad game. Duke is good.
Oh, yeah.
And they got beat, too, against Kentucky. That was a fantastic game. Yeah. So these are the games that we grew up watching. Or you probably, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 52.
52, so you're a little younger than me. Yeah. And I got here. So you grew up watching.
I grew up watching
games.
Luke. Yeah.
Big games.
Yeah. Luke came in at 83, I think. So I was 11 years old.
11 years old.
Yep.
So you grew up watching these great games.
Right.
And here we are. So my whole thing is I'm not a morning guy. And now that I get older, I'm not a late guy.
Oh.
And it's a late game.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll see. Yeah. And guess what's happening the next day?
The Tour de Tucson. Yeah.
So I expect to get about 2-3 hours of sleep from Friday to Saturday morning.
Yeah. Last year they did the same thing to us. They had a 9:00 game last year.
No, the night before?
The night before.
I can't remember that.
It wasn't a big game, though.
Okay, then maybe that's why I didn't go to the game.
Yeah, I didn't go to the game either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you go often?
Yeah, I'm season ticket holder for
I did not know that.
Basketball and football.
I did not know that. So I'm going to ask you a question here.
Sure.
How long have you had the tickets?
For basketball, I think 6 years.
Okay, so you're a rookie kind of.
Yeah,
so
that's football, it's been over 25 years.
Oh, okay, so I asked this for a reason. When you were younger, everyone criticized the crowds because it was an older crowd.
Sure.
Are you part of that older crowd now?
I think I am. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're a gray hair.
Yeah.
Or blue hair. Because honestly, you don't. The people that say, "Oh, it'd be a better place if they let more students in," or blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You guys know the drill. You guys have been here forever.
Oh, yeah,
You're
yeah.
just older now.
Yeah.
It's not like you guys, aren't doing aerobics on the sidelines when they play the music.
Right.
And you're young. You're a young dude. I'm joking, and you're joking
And
too.
almost all the time, I have one of my sons with me. So
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah. So we're half blue hair and half young dude.
Yeah. Where are the tickets? In relation to the band.
The other corner.
The other side.
Yeah,
The other. It says you look to the band. You're on the right or left.
If we look at
Or the team. The team is where.
the bench for our team is on my right.
On your right.
Yeah,
Okay, so
we're
just
in
directly.
11.
Okay,
Section 11.
I see.
Yeah.
Behind the basket, but to the right of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good seats.
They're good seats.
Yeah, good seats. Look
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah, definitely.
Picture Rock must be doing well.
We're trying.
I know you guys are out there. You guys are everywhere.
Yeah, we try.
Mhm.
Yep, definitely.
Okay.
We've done a lot of radio. I think that for us, radio's been really good.
Well, not to toot the radio's horn, but it's more about you hear it, and then you hear it,
Yeah.
and then you're everywhere on the station, so you hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just repetitive, just
Yeah.
like the motor mechanics that we're talking about.
Right.
You hear it, and then you hear it, and then you hear it, and then you say, "Oh, I heard it. I'm going to call them because I heard it."
Right.
Whether you're good or not. I'm talking about advertisement.
Sure.
You don't know, but you've heard it.
Right.
And
The
you
brand
say,
awareness.
That's exactly what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. What am I preaching to the choir?
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us about this year's El Tour de Tucson.
El Tour. Okay. Well, it starts Saturday morning. Well,
Yeah.
it starts actually Thursday. Guys like you go in and pick up your packets, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of meander around TCC, and that's a great venue to do some
Right.
meandering.
They'll have a big vendor fair.
Right. The vendors are there. You can buy whatever you'd like, jersey-wise or socks-wise or whatever.
Helmet. I bought a helmet last year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I
you
was
won?
looking at a helmet for a little while, and the year before he sold it before I got back over there.
Oh,
so.
did he? Yes, I'll be right back, right? And
Yeah.
you don't come back. I do that all the time. So there's a lot of stuff to look at, to
Yeah.
talk to the nonprofits. I think we'll have like 40 in there of our 85, and we have a lot of sponsors in there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of just a lot of people. You can do a lot of things there. Spend about an hour walking through. Get your packet and then get ready for the ride. And that's
Yeah.
Thursday and Friday. We start at noon each day.
Okay.
And then that goes to about 9 with bands. There's entertainment, good food.
Yeah. There's
So
food.
you won't be
There's a beer
bored.
garden, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
a beer garden. So you're not bored. You're not going to go down there and be bored.
Yeah.
And it's for anybody and everybody. You don't have
Right.
to have a pickup there to get and do the stuff. You can just kind of. It's a people watching place too, right?
It is, yeah. And like I said, there is people from all over the
Yes.
world there.
Yes.
People come for this event, for this race from
Right.
everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're going to have about 9,500 people participating downtown.
Wow.
It's the most that I've seen since I've been there in 12 years.
Yeah.
I think the record we had, and I was told this maybe for the 25-year anniversary, was 10,000.
Really?
Could be.
I think last year was around 8,000,
It was
wasn't it?
about 9,000.
Oh, it was 9,000 last year.
9,000.
Okay.
Well, we're including the bicyclists and the riders, the runners, walkers.
Oh,
So we've got
okay.
about 1,200, 1,100 of them.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
And it starts early in the morning.
Yeah.
With the kids and the adults who like to run the 5K.
Okay.
And so it's crowded. You know that.
It's very
in
crowded.
fact, I saw you last year. I was going and you were coming and going right on the street of the finish line.
Right.
And you see people you don't expect.
Yeah.
Like I saw you and I didn't realize it. Ron, you're here. You're a cyclist. Oh, okay. Because you were just coming in. Right
Yeah.
from your ride.
Yeah. I just went through the finish line.
So after you're 32, how do you feel?
Feel good. For the tour, you have a lot of adrenaline.
Mm-hmm.
You do. You know, just
And that was how many rides have you been in?
this will be my third one.
Oh, so that was your second one yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, was it much different than the first one?
No, I beat it by 5 minutes. So
The
mean,
adrenaline, the
adrenaline?
how you felt about it.
probably a little bit less adrenaline than the first time. The first time you're just
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
wide-eyed
yeah.
and
Right,
amazed
right.
at everything, and
Right.
you're in a crowd of I don't know what's the 32, probably about 3,000 people.
Yeah, 3,500.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, you're in that big crowd. You're starting out. The first year, I think I passed. I estimated about 950 people.
Oh,
that I
really?
passed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were at the back, near the back?
I
or
was in the back, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying the first year?
The first year.
What
yeah.
about the second year?
The second year, I was pretty far up front.
Oh, okay.
And
so
I
the
didn't pass
passing
it.
was. So did you pass? And you probably got passed.
Well, both.
Yeah.
Yeah. This year, I think we're going to start at the back again.
Okay.
And just kind of let the crowd disperse.
Yes, right.
Because there's so many people in there that you're almost walking sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah.
To get to the front and then get out. That's probably wise for you because then it gives you a challenge to count your people that you're going to pass.
Yeah.
One. And I'm sure you're much better than you were a year or two ago.
I don't know. I haven't trained as much as I wanted to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'll do decent, but I don't think I'm going to beat last year.
And I think one of the great things about El Tour is you're either you want to get a good time or you're spending the day on a bike with your friends and meandering and just kind of getting through it.
Yeah.
Because it's a fun day on a bike with your friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't beat that.
Yeah. So you have options of attacking or just kind of just enjoying the day.
Yeah. We're competitive.
Well, you could probably do both.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we enjoy it. But
you ride with one or two others?
There's probably going to be about 25 of us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it a team?
Yeah, we've kind of put together a team.
And this is a dumb question. You don't have to answer it. You raising money for somebody?
We raise money.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
We're raising money for We Care Tucson and United Way this year.
Okay, super.
So
in fact, when are you picking up your packet?
Friday.
Oh, okay. What time do you know?
Probably right at noon. I'll go over there. Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing this publicly. I should be doing this privately. Okay.
No, but we put together a team a couple of years ago, and we bring on sponsors so that we can go ahead and benefit those nonprofits. We do jerseys, and we have all the sponsors on our jerseys, and we do some social media.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's great about that's the one of many things great about El Tour is guys like you organize these teams, 10, 20, 25. We have a 150 person team out there as well.
Right.
And you are proud of your jerseys, which some are very fantastic, very cool, and colorful and all that. And you're unified for a purpose, right?
Right, exactly.
And everybody has their purpose. And it means so much to the people that you raise the money for.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
Well, with that, let's go to our last break, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes with Southwest Flavor.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair. My drains were clogged. I was really in despair. So I called some guy. You've never seen such a mess. And every time he leaned over, well, you can probably guess. Now I get it done right by Picture Rocks Cooling. They're neat and clean, peachy clean. Really no fooling. Got a problem? Just call up and help is coming. Picture Rocks Cooling, heating and plumbing.
Hi, I'm Alan Murdoch. For the past 20 years, I've been buying, fixing, and selling properties right here in southern Arizona. And I want to buy your property. Whether it's a house, apartment, commercial building, or vacant land, regardless of the condition or the situation, I want to talk to you. When you sell to me, I pay cash and it's hassle-free. No repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. If you have a property you don't want to deal with and you want a quick solution, call, text, or visit selltoalan.com. Again, that's selltoalan.com.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash. When you call in anonymously with the tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward. Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net.
We can print anything on our soft vanilla logo cookies. We deliver them and other sweet treats locally. We are located at 4249 West Ina Road, Suite 121. Call us 520-300-1131. We bake smiles.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net.
And we're back on Southwest Flavor talking about El Tour de Tucson, which is coming up this Saturday. It's the 41st annual event that they've done It's huge to our community. It raises a lot of money for nonprofits, gets people out there riding their bikes. There's people from all over the world, all over the country that come in just for this event. I mean, it's a world-renowned event.
Right. Right. No, I was curious now because you're going to ride the 32, right?
Yeah.
And you've done it. This will be your third time.
This will be my third time.
How long have you been riding?
I mean,
welcome to my show, Ron.
Yeah. I've been riding probably about 15 years.
Oh, really? So
not on a road bike. So when my youngest son was still pretty little, he's 20 now. So it's probably been about 13 or 14 years.
So
we grabbed a couple mountain bikes, a youth and a regular mountain bike, just the inexpensive ones, and started riding around.
Yeah.
And then I met Jeff, and we started riding together.
Yeah.
And
so another dumb question. So when do you think you're going to move to 63?
I registered last year for 63, but then I dropped back down to the 32. Possibly next year.
And then after that, when you're going to take the 102? You're talking to a guy who's never ridden on the ride. So
yeah, I don't know if I'll ever do the 102. That's a lot. I mean, I've done
a lot.
I've done 65 miles before, and it can be done.
Yeah.
100 seems a little bit stretching it for me.
It's daunting if you've never done it, obviously, or never done it, but you're prepared. I mean, it would just take more time to get prepared.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I'm not a really fast rider.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's one of the good things, especially last year, we trained with a lot of the guys in our group are like 25 to 35, so they're younger than us.
Yeah.
It's good for us older guys to train with the younger guys because they're faster than us.
They'll push you.
Yeah, they do really push us.
Right. Well, if you're leaving at 7 in the morning in a bike to go 102, you got to go at least about 18 miles an hour just to finish on time.
Yeah.
Because we close at 4:30, something like that. I don't want to do the math, but it's something like that. Where, and it ain't easy.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And that's your average.
Yeah.
That's not the burst of speed. That's an average.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So more power to the people that do that. More power to all you guys, because there is a challenge in every of the events.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There is. Mm-hmm. And we do a lot of, most of our rides on the road, our loop rides are 30 to 40 miles.
Yeah.
So it's almost like just another ride for us.
Do you guys attack certain areas, or you guys ride it? Does that make sense?
For the
32.
For the L Tour? Or?
Yeah, for the L Tour.
I think I ride it. Mm-hmm. Once you get to Old Nogales Highway, it's supposed to be a little bit downhill coming down into Tucson or into downtown Tucson.
Right.
So mentally, I think you probably want to say, all right, it's downhill now. I'm gonna push it a little bit more, and then of course when you get probably 2 miles to the finish line, that's when you give it everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because you see the end of the road there.
Yeah. Yeah. Last year there was one of the young guys, a 25-year-old guy, so he's half my age.
Yeah.
And he passed me, and then I passed him, and we both have the same jersey on, so we talk to each other.
Yeah.
We did that about 3 or 4 times. And then we were about a mile in, and I passed him and gave it everything I had, and he was right on my tail, but I beat him.
Yeah. If only Mike Tyson would have done that to the younger guy.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. That's good. And everybody needs a challenge.
Yeah.
When you're on the bike and being competitive, because a lot of them are, and a lot of them aren't.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to be. Have to be competitive.
No.
You don't have to. I mean, that's just one of my things. Is every time I ride, I look at how fast I rode for that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And everybody has a different approach. And then we have. It's a ride for all ages and abilities. Mm-hmm. And how you deal with it or how you ride it is up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could have a 3-wheeler out there. You can have a recumbent bike.
Right.
You could have a kid seat on there.
Sure. I'm good friends with one of our nonprofits from a few years ago. Brought him on, and then he had a unicyclist. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do remember that.
It was friends for Michael. He was my co-host of the show yesterday.
Oh, cool.
And the guy who did 102. It was an unbelievable story because you're going 102 miles on a unicycle.
Wow, that
came
is
in
incredible.
a little after the roads had closed. Had broken a couple of fingers because he fell on the bike a couple couple of times. So I think he's going to come back, but he's going to do a 32 or 63.
Still a 32 on a unicycle.
Come on. Come on. I can't get to the bathroom on a unicycle. So
that's incredible.
That'll be great. He did it really well, raising money, and just what a unique story.
Yeah. And for people that have never ridden it before, this is their first time, they do have rest stops, kind of first aid stops every 8 miles.
Yeah,
right?
about 10 miles. We have 11 aid stations.
Okay.
They have goodies there at every place.
Yeah.
They're spread about every 10 to 11 miles.
Okay.
A lot of people out there helping, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, regular folks just out there to cheer you on.
Yeah, you'll see crowds of people cheering you on.
Right.
But yeah, you get those stations. You get water. You get bananas. Sometimes they
oranges,
have oranges, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you can get refreshed if you need to.
Right. So no, it's well prepared. It's a good day. You'll have plenty of water because you're going to need it. It's going to be a little rather midday. 82.
Yeah.
You said 55 at the beginning.
Yeah.
72 when you're probably halfway through your ride.
Yeah.
And you start at what 10?
We start at 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it'll be a little bit warmer. It'll probably be 60 or 65.
Yeah, ideal for you. Yeah.
Last year it was 70 degrees, no clouds, no wind. It was perfect.
Did you come in? What time did you come in?
Oh no, wait, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2 years because it rained.
Last year it rained.
It wasn't a bad rain. It was a drizzle rain.
Yeah.
And that was kind of refreshing. At least for people who were not riding, it was refreshing. How was it for you?
Yeah. It was okay. It rained for the 60-mile guys and the 100-mile guys.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah.
It didn't rain for us. It started raining right when we were coming in the finish line.
Okay, because it was about 1 o'clock-ish. 12:30, 1
noon.
o'clock. Noon.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, because it took me exactly 2 hours.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
good.
So, we didn't really get wet at all.
Right, no, that's good.
But a lot of guys came in muddy and stuff.
This weekend won't be that weekend.
No, not at all.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why Richard decided to do it at this time of year. It's been always at this time.
Yeah.
The week before Thanksgiving. Typically, if not out of 41 years, you've had 1 or 2 bad rain days.
Yeah.
The one I first came on was 2013. And that was a bad rain day.
That was the Oregon game, I believe.
It was a Saturday. Yeah, it was a Saturday game. Very cold.
Yeah.
Very, very.
And it rained all day.
Yes,
it
was bad.
Yeah, it was
brutal.
bad. Yeah.
We lost riders after that. We lost riders. I'm talking about because many of them signed up. It was well prepared, was going to be well attended, and then the weather hit. So a lot of people didn't show up because it was too bad.
Yeah.
So it took a year or 2 or 3 to kind of get them back.
Oh wow!
Because they think it's going to happen again, right?
Yeah.
And it hasn't happened. And now it's as popular as ever.
That's kind of funny because now we have our phones that we can just look up the weather for 2 weeks.
Right.
And granted, the weather's not always correct on your phone, but it gives you a pretty good idea.
Here's the issue. When did you sign up? Like, when did you actually join?
Oh, many. Like this year?
Yeah.
Probably 6 months ago.
Okay,
so that's true. That's
right.
true.
So you sign up in April thinking it's going to be great, and then as you get closer, you see. But like if you're signing up now, and you probably got a great deal on your sign up, $100, $140, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And now it's like $200.
Right.
So
every month it goes up.
The longer you wait, the more you'll have to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you understand what I'm saying?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So like now we'll still get people coming in, because they know the weather's going to be great. It's going to be a nice ride. It's going to be a nice day. We still have people signing up as we speak. I got the alert this morning just how many people we have coming in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mm-hmm. And are you writing some articles about this year's race?
Every day. That's why I don't sleep. That's why I don't sleep. I'm leaving this place to go to do a couple more stories. I had 2 yesterday. I'm trying to prepare interviews for nonprofits for the media. That's what I do. I set up media interviews. And this year, it's been very good. Friday, we're going to have, as a highlight, KOLD is going to be working their studios from the event.
Oh, fantastic. They're doing a remote over there. Okay.
With their news desk, and they're going to have roving people interviewing a couple of former Olympians, last year's Olympian champion, Chloe, and then some nonprofits, some writers like you, just a variety of people who are going to talk about El Tour.
Yeah.
So I kind of do that, and I write about what's coming up and who's in the event, things
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, last year I met a guy in line. It was his last one that he was going to do, but he was like 85.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'd been doing it for 30 years.
He had already said, this is it.
Yeah.
This
yeah.
is it.
We were in line. He's like, this is my last one. I think physically he couldn't do it anymore. Yeah.
Right. So but he was doing it anyway.
But he was doing it. Yeah. He was doing it at 85.
And it's very cathartic and very therapeutic.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
It is.
They ride for people
Yeah.
who've passed or who have
in memory of people. Yeah.
who have passed and or are going through some health issues.
Right.
And they raise money for them.
Yeah. On our jersey, we have our friend's name that passed away from cancer 7 years
that's
ago.
who you ride for?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
a variety of... Because you said...
we raise money for nonprofits, but we always have his name on our jerseys.
Yeah. And he must have been a cyclist.
He was a cyclist, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was a fellow business owner and,
Yeah.
up here in Marana, so
Yeah.
pretty close with him.
Yeah. No, that's because of people like you, that's why this success or succeeds.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you have any Lute Olson stories?
You have to buy the book.
Well, tell us about your books.
Yeah. So my first one was about the championship, the NCAA championship in '97. Second was a bunch of little tales about locker room stuff about the guys giving each other grief.
Mm-hmm.
My third one's probably my funnest book to read. If you've never seen it, it's a coffee table book. It's like in a box. You pull it out. It has a bunch of trinkets, a bunch of stuff. It's the top 100 games in the history of the program up until 14 years ago when the book came out. The fourth one was the rewrite of the second book. The fifth one was the 100 things you need to know before you die if you're an Arizona fan.
Right.
And that was a lot of fun. Anthony Gimino and I wrote that together.
Yeah.
And then this last one was Lessons from Lute, who's obviously the iconic coach. He was here 25 years, so I did 25 chapters, 25 individual interviews, and how he impacted them.
So 25 different players that played for Lute.
Players and friends,
and each
Rosborough,
have a chapter.
Yeah, of what he meant, how they met, how they recruited him, stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Took me a little while. Roy Williams, Mike Montgomery, of the coaches, right? The people that, Jim Rosborough, Mike Bibby, Luke Walton wrote my foreword, Sean Elliott, those guys.
Yeah.
The
those
people
are some
he
great
impacted.
stories.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, and you're a dad, and I'm sure you'd appreciate this. When you're a dad, it's different than being a dad when the kids are 25.
Yeah.
When they're 10, you treat them differently.
Of course.
You're the dad.
Yeah.
When you're 25 or 20 or whatever, as they grow up, you treat them better. And that's how he was with them.
Yeah.
He was the coach.
Yeah.
And you played hard for the coach. And when they left, it was like a different.
You can have a friendship.
Yes.
Yeah. The relationship's different.
You can have some wine. You can BS with each other.
Yeah.
But and he's tough. Like a parent, there are times when you have to be tough.
Of course. Yeah.
And now I'm sure your kids, the kid that you talked about with the bike rides, you probably have a totally different relationship with him. But because of those bike rides, it established.
Right.
That relationship,
definitely. Yeah. I have three boys, and when they're growing up, of course you have to be hard on them sometimes.
Right.
They have to do their chores and do their schoolwork and be respectful and all that stuff.
Right.
But when they grow up, then you can be friends with them.
Welcome to the Dr. Phil show. But that's kind of the book. It was the book originally, and then I kind of throw in my relationship with him and the things we did. My favorite story is this with him, and there's so many. But my favorite is in writing my second book. I needed time with him, and he was just too busy. He was always too busy.
Right.
He says, "Well, Steve, in his voice, if you want to do some interviews and give me time, you have to come and walk with me at 6 a.m. This was like 30-some years ago. I was like 35 years old.
All right.
And he's 20 years older than me, 25 years older than me. So he's, 60s, whatever it was.
Okay.
So I said, okay, if that's the only way I could do it. So, here I am, like in March, I put on my sweats. I don't know. I'm a sports writer. What the hell do I know? Put on my sweats and we go walk up in the Finisterre, up in the foothills.
Uh-huh.
And I said, cool. So we walk and we walk and we walk.
Oh, yeah?
And we walk. And I'm thinking, could this please end? And it's in his neighborhood, right? It's up in the hills and blah, blah, blah. So after maybe 90 minutes, close to 2 hours, his house is coming up to the right. And I'm thinking, oh, great, it's almost over.
Right, you can see the end.
And we passed it.
Oh, no.
We passed it. He continued to walk. And I'm thinking, oh, no. So we eventually end. And we go to his house. Bobby gives me some orange juice. We sit by the pool, and I finish my interviews. I leave. And the next day, I couldn't get out of bed.
Really?
I couldn't get out of bed. I was so sore. I had to take ibuprofen to get out of bed. and this 65, 66-year-old man beat the crap out of me on a walk.
And that was his normal day?
That was...
Wow.
Yeah, I was like 35. And it was like... I tell that story all the time. I wrote about that story. It was just... Yeah, and I told him about it, and he every time we'd kind of do some public function, he says, "Hey, you want to tell him about this walk we took?" No, not really good. Yeah.
So recruiting-wise with Lute, he was really big on character.
Yeah,
right?
He figured the better the person you got, the better the team would be because they know what success is all about.
Right.
And the more you chase the bad apples, those bad apples have a way to influence the good apples.
Right.
And you don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want that. And it's not that he didn't hit every time. He got a couple of bad apples.
Yeah.
Eventually they had to leave or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that happens in every program. But
sure.
but he's chasing character kids. Yeah.
Right. He's chasing character kids because they know how to win.
Yeah.
And be good at what they do. Because those people know what it takes to win one, and they have the habits of a winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was very successful. Obviously, we know that. Could he have been more successful? That's debatable. Ron,
tough.
one of the things I talk about on my show is you have two teams, and you and I are playing against each other. On one team, you're the you're trying to win.
Sure.
You know what I'm trying to do?
You're trying to win
Trying
also.
to win too.
Yeah.
So if you're better than me, guess what I have to be? I have to try to be better than you. So there are many times when Arizona faced teams that were better than him.
Yeah.
There were times when they didn't face and they lost.
Yeah.
But that too happens.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I'm not trying to give him an alibi because every program goes to look at Duke.
Yeah.
Same issue. They could probably have more titles than they have.
Yeah.
Look at Kentucky. Calipari couldn't win with some of the best recruits in the
He had
land
the
for a
best
long
recruiting
time.
classes. Yep.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You know, you be the best cyclist out there, and maybe you have a bad bike.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a bad route.
Or you're just not training the way you're supposed to. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's factors involved.
There's always factors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And are you still involved with El Tour de Scottsdale?
Yeah, and you rode in that too.
I rode in
What
that.
a fantastic ride! I'm sure you feel that way.
It was.
You're gonna.
I'll do it
You're gonna
again.
come
It's in April.
Yeah, we're going to be back in April. So I'm still. It's our organization does 3 rides, and then we have the Tour de Zona.
Yeah.
In Sierra Vista and Bisbee. So we're doing that too. So we're busy almost year round.
Wow.
And this one here takes about a year to get
really
to get ready for. You know, the municipalities, the traffic.
Oh, okay.
You have a lot of people to deal with to get through the event. You know, it's not just, okay, we're going to have a ride.
Right.
You have to get the approval of a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then it costs a lot of money. People don't understand that. Barricades, police. So, you know, and it's, I think one of the biggest gripes we have is that it's called the Tour de Tucson, and it's been that way for a long time. But we're not in Tucson. Yes, we are.
Well,
yes, we are. Yes, we are. Southern Arizona.
Yeah.
And imagine if we had to ride through Tucson, Arizona. Where would we go?
Yeah. Right.
Where would you put them?
Yeah.
You know, the streets are already packed.
Yeah, they are. They are.
So.
All right.
It's a great route. Do you like? I'm sure you like the route.
I love the route. Yeah.
It's a good, easy route, safe route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool to go next to the boneyard in the base. You know, you get to see all the airplanes and everything.
And then south to the pecan trees.
Yeah.
Now, do you do that?
I don't do that part.
Okay, but the 32. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but you do the other things.
Yeah.
I forget. It's 32 miles. So yeah.
Yep. So real quick again, tell us where you can find your books.
You can find them on Amazon, but I prefer for you to get them from me. You can just email me, steve.rivera95@gmail.com. I sign them. You just email me. I sign them and send them. They're about $26, and then I just ship them to you.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for coming on with me.
Thank you, Ron. Enjoy your ride.
I will.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I hope everyone's safe out there and they enjoy their ride. It's going to be perfect weather. All right, this is another episode of Southwest Flavor. We will see you next week. Thank you.